Welcome everyone in the next lecture on the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. In the previous lectures, we have discussed various problems based on the eigenvalues and eigenvector. To find the eigenvector, we use two different methods. One is a method of Cramer's rule, and the second is a method of solution of system of homogeneous linear equations. Now, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss one problem where the eigenvalues are not distinct. Some of them are going to repeat. Then in such cases, how to evaluate an eigenvector? That's an interesting part. So in all previous lecture, we discussed the problem where all eigenvalues are distinct. They are not repeated. So let's begin with one example. Okay, the question is to find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors corresponding to the matrix. Find eigenvalues and eigenvectors corresponding to the matrix. I'll just take an example of a 3 by 3 matrix. 2 1 1 2 3 2 3 3 4. So this is a 3 by 3 matrix. In most of the times you will get a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay. Now, first we need to calculate the characteristic equation of this matrix. It's a very simple. The characteristic equation of a matrix is determinant of A minus lambda I is equal to 0. Okay. Now what is the determinant of A minus lambda I? It's very simple. So the matrix A minus lambda I will be given as diagonal elements 2 minus lambda, 3 minus lambda, then 4 minus lambda. Non-diagonal entries of the given matrix remains same. There is no change. Okay. Now you can work out the characteristic equation by solving this determinant. Okay. Here we get 2 minus lambda into bracket 3 minus lambda into 4 minus lambda, 3 minus 3 to the 6, minus 1 into bracket 2 into 4 minus lambda, minus 2 3 the 6, plus 1 into lambda, that means this last entry, 2 3 the 6 minus 3 into 3 minus lambda is equal to 0. Now on simplifying this, or you can use a shortcut method which I already explained in the previous lecture for getting the characteristic equation. The characteristic equation of this given matrix is lambda cube minus 9 lambda square plus 15 lambda minus 7 is equal to 0. Now either using the calculator which is available with you, you can easily work out the roots of this equation. Okay. So the roots are nothing but our eigenvalues. So here the roots are lambda is equal to 1, 1 and 7. So these are our eigenvalues. Or in other way, we can go for the synthetic division. See 1, minus 9, 15 and minus 7. So 1 minus 9 and minus 7 becomes minus 16 and 1 plus 15 becomes plus 16. So plus 16 minus 16 becomes 0. Hence 1 will be the divisor. So 1, then minus 9, then 15 and then minus 7. So 1 as it is, 1 into 1, 1, minus 9 and plus 1 gives minus 8, 1 minus 8 is minus 8, minus 8 and plus 15 gives us plus 7. So 1 into 7, 7. So this gives me the 0. Okay. So hence as I am dividing by 1, lambda minus 1 is one of the factor. The remaining terms are, as one factor is taking out, so degree of this equation reduced by 1. Hence we get lambda square minus 8 lambda plus 7 equals to 0. Okay. Now you can factorize this. 7 into 1, 7, and minus 7 and minus 1. The addition is minus 8. And minus 1 into minus 7 becomes plus 7. So we get this. So one term is lambda minus 1 from here. And next is a lambda minus 7. So this way you can find out the factorization which provides the eigenvalues. So lambda is equal to 1, 1 and 7. Now to find the eigenvectors, consider the matrix equation A minus lambda I into capital X is equal to 0 matrix, a column matrix we are taking. Now you can just have a look. 1 is an eigenvalue which repeats twice and 7 is a distinct. And are you clear with this idea? So some eigenvalues are going to repeat. In all previous example, we get all the eigenvalues are distinct, either 1, 2, 3, 0, 3, 15 like that. Now, therefore we get A minus lambda I is 2 minus lambda 1, 1, 2, 3 minus lambda 2, 3, 3, 4 minus lambda into x, y, z is equal to 0, 0, 0. So this is a system of homogeneous equation. Okay. Now we make a substitution of one of the eigenvalue. So here I am going to substitute for lambda is equal to 1. The 1 is an eigenvalue which repeats twice. So first we will go for lambda equals to 1. So when I substitute lambda equal to 1 here, we get 2 minus 1, 1. So the first row is 1, 1, 1. The second row is 2, 3 minus 1, 2, and then 2. 3, 3, 4 minus 1, that again 3. Into x, y, and z is equal to 0, 0, 0. Okay. Now, our job is to get that 0 at these places, 1, 2, and this third place. So it's very simple. I just go with R2 minus 2 times R1. As here 1 is present, 2 minus 2 becomes a 0. So we multiply it here by 2. And for getting 0 here, we multiply the first row by 3. 1, 1, 1. As you can see, all this second and the third row is in multiples of the first row. Is it? Hence, what I am getting here, second and third row directly becomes a zeros. Okay. Now what I am getting? See, I am getting only one equation. So this is a row echelon form of the matrix which we discussed in the previous year, semester 1. So this is in the row echelon form of the matrix. So there is no further reduction possible in this case. So we'll have only one equation, that is x plus y plus z is equal to 0. Now here the rank of A minus lambda I matrix is, see, there is only one non-zero row is present, so the rank is 1. Okay. Now number of unknowns is equal to 3. Therefore the system possesses or we can say there exist, this symbol stands for the there exist, number of unknowns minus rank is equal to 2 linearly independent solutions. Okay. So this system, which system? This A minus lambda I into x is equal to 0. This system will have 2 linearly independent solutions. Are you clear with that? So in earlier example where we solved a problem by techniques of the system of homogeneous equation, there also we discussed the same thing. But when we apply the Cramer's rule, we have not discussed this part. Is it? Because whenever you get an eigenvalue, a distinct eigenvalue, there we get only one linearly independent solutions. Here lambda is equal to 1 is an eigenvalue which repeat more than once. It is not a distinct value, it is going to repeat. So in this case we need to check as one the eigenvalue 1 repeat twice, whether I am getting 2 linearly independent solutions or only one linearly independent solution. That is to be checked. Hence we need to apply this procedure. Here the Cramer's rule is not applicable. Are you clear with this? So we get a 2 linearly independent solution. Now how to get the, so the case 1, and there is another case. So case 1 will give you the first root and the case 2 will give you the second root. Okay. Now what is the equation? X plus y plus z is equal to 0. If I want a solution of this system having one equation in three unknowns, I must know any two of these unknown. Any two values I must know, either xy or yz or xz, any two. Now the choice is yours. So what we do, we make a substitution, put x is equal to 1 and y equals to 0. So which gives me from this 1 plus 0 plus z is equal to 0. This implies z is equal to minus 1. So I am getting this vector 1, 0, minus 1. Okay. And now while getting for the case 2, you keep the substitutions same, that is x and y, only you need to interchange the values of them. Now I am substituting x is equal to 0 and then y will be 1. So we get 0 plus 1 plus z is equal to 0. This gives me z is equal to minus 1. So now my vector is 0, 1, minus 1. See, the place of 0 is now changed in these two vectors. Hence, definitely these vectors are linearly independent. Linearly independent means what? A vector is said to be linearly independent if it cannot be expressed in terms of the other one. Let's take an example. 1, 1, 1 is one eigenvector and the second eigenvector is minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. See, these vectors are linearly dependent, because if I multiply this by minus 1, we get this one, or if I multiply this by minus 1, we get this one back. Are you clear with that? Similarly, 2, 2, 2, these two vectors are linearly dependent. Even these two also are linearly dependent. Are you clear with that? So the case of linearly independent is a vector cannot be expressed in terms of the remaining one. Is it? Now, this is for lambda is equal to 1. Now we have to calculate for lambda is equal to 7. That means we need to calculate a eigenvector in case of lambda is equal to 7. Now I am leaving this part as an homework for you. You calculate the eigenvector for lambda is equal to 7 with the same method. But see, as 7 is a distinct eigenvalue, it is not going to repeat. You will get only one linearly independent solution. Are you clear with that? So you just go with the our same method, calculate your answer and post it either on the WhatsApp or email. Okay. So this is all about the problems based on the calculation of the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So this type of different this kind of different examples will be asked in the examination. So I suggest everyone to focus on this chapter, because this chapter will give you more weightage. You will get at least one example in your final examination depending on this. Now one more example I would like to give you as an homework. Suppose your matrix is this 2 1 0 0 2 1 0 0 2, and if someone asks what is the eigenvalues of this matrix, what is the eigenvalues of this matrix? Are you going to calculate the characteristic equation and then its roots? No. See, this is an upper triangular matrix. If your matrix is upper triangular or a lower triangular or a diagonal matrix, the eigenvalues of this matrix are nothing but diagonal elements. So here the eigenvalues are 2, 2, 2. You can cross check whether I am getting the same eigenvalues or not by calculating the characteristic equation and its roots. Okay, so I'm just leaving this as an homework. Find the eigenvalues of this matrix as well as the eigenvectors corresponding to this matrix, and you can post the answer of this question by tomorrow morning. Now in the next lecture we would like to meet with the properties of eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Thank you everyone.